This video will serve as audio read aloud for the Romeo and Juliet Act 5 quiz. Question 1. The first indication that Friar Lawrence's plan is going to fail is when? Option 1. Friar John cannot deliver Friar Lawrence's letter. Option 2. Romeo acts rashly and intends to return to Verona. Option 3. Balthazar tells Romeo that Juliet is really dead. Option 4. Lawrence discovers that Juliet drank the wrong potion. Question 2. Romeo's reaction to Balthazar's news shows that he is, Option 1, lacking concern for others. Option 2, taking action without thinking clearly. Option 3, becoming angry without reason. Or Option 4, evaluating the situation with care. Question 3. What does Romeo do after Balthazar tells him Juliet is dead? Option 1. He goes to an apothecary and buys poison. Option 2. He goes to a church to pray for forgiveness. Option 3. He goes to a necromancer to revive Juliet. Or Option 4. He goes to the Capulet's house to enact revenge. Question 4. Why can't Friar John deliver the letter to Romeo? Option 1. He dies along the road. Option 2. He decides he doesn't want to deliver it because it is a sin. Option 3. He loses the letter. Or Option 4. He ends up quarantined while visiting the sick. Question 5. In Scene 2, Shakespeare adds further obstacles to a positive resolution when Option 1. Friar Lawrence has to deliver the funeral mass. Option 2. Romeo sees Juliet in the crypt. Option 3. John returns without having delivered Romeo's letter. Or Option 4. Lady Capulet refuses to accept her daughter's death. Question 6. Which statement best describes the significance of Romeo's dream about Juliet in Scene 1? Option 1. It foreshadows, but in reverse, the situation in the final scene of Act 5. Option 2. It is an omen telling him to stay in Mantua. Option 3. It is ironic because it is Juliet who is dead, but she cannot be revived. Option 4. It establishes the mood of mystery that pervades all of Act 5. Question 7. What can you infer from Paris's appearance at the Capulet tomb? Option 1. Paris plans to fight a duel with Romeo. Option 2. Paris plans to commit suicide at the foot of Juliet's tomb. Option 3. Paris plans to rob Juliet of the ring on her finger. Or Option 4. Paris so loved Juliet that he plans to scatter flowers on her grave every night. Question 8. Why does Paris try to arrest Romeo? Option 1. He sees him taking the ring that Paris gave Juliet. Option 2. He has sworn vengeance on all Montagues as directed by the prince. Option 3. He fears that Romeo will defile Tybalt's body and disrespect the Capulet family. Or Option 4. He has discovered that Romeo had married Juliet and is furious at having been made a fool. Question 9. How does Paris die? Option 1. He dies of grief over Juliet's death. Option 2. He has a heart attack. Option 3. He consumes the same poison that Juliet drank. Or Option 4. Romeo kills him. Question 10. What is Paris's last request? Option 1. To eat a lobster meal. Option 2. To see the sun one more time. Option 3. To lie beside Juliet. Or Option 4. Trick question. He does not have a last request. Question 11. What is ironic about the inference Romeo draws in these lines, which are said as he looks at Juliet? Thou art not conquered, beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and thy cheeks. Option 1. In the word ensign, Romeo compares Juliet to a flag that is still fluttering. Option 2. Romeo thinks that Juliet still has some signs of life in her. He fails to realize she is actually returning to consciousness. Option 3. Romeo thinks that Juliet has died violently and still has blood on her. Or Option 4. Romeo thinks death should be black, not crimson. Question 12. Why doesn't Lady Montague accompany her husband to the tomb? Option 1. She has no heart to see such horrors. Option 2. She lies gravely ill at home. Option 3. She has gone to Mantua to be with Romeo. Or option 4. She has died from the grief of Romeo's exile. Question 13. Why must the friar be the character who tells the prince what has happened? Option 1. He is the only character who is in control of his emotions. Option 2. He is the most truthful character. Option 3. He is the only character who knows almost the entire story. Or option 4. He was caught with a bloody dagger in his hand. Question 14. Why does the prince spare the life of Friar Lawrence? Option 1. He feels that he has no authority over the friar's life. Option 2. The prince thinks that the friar has always been a holy man. Option 3. The friar falls to the ground dead of a heart attack. Or option 4. The citizens prevail upon the prince to spare the friar's life. Question 15. According to Capulet in the last theme, what is Juliet's dowry? Option 1. A gold statue of Juliet to be erected in Verona. Option 2. The poison that Romeo bought from the apothecary. Option 3. Punishment of everyone involved in the feud between the families. Or option 4. Peace between the Montagues and the Capulets. Question 16. The first to arrive at Juliet's tomb is option 1. Paris. Option 2. Balthazar. Option 3. Romeo. Or option 4. Friar Lawrence. Question 17. Once Juliet awakens, Friar Lawrence plans for her to option 1. Kill her himself. Option 2. Marry someone else. Option 3. Return to her parents. Or option 4. Become a nun. Question 18. The last person to die in this tragedy is option 1. Friar Lawrence. Option 2. Paris. Option 3. Lady Montague. Or option 4. Juliet. Question 19. The prince's speech at the end of the play tells the audience that option 1. Everyone got what he or she deserved. Option 2. The feud is now at an end, so the deaths were worthwhile. Option 3. There was never a sadder story than this. Or option 4. No one knows why or how everything got so messed up. Question 20. Who was suspected the most as a murderer? Option 1. Lord Montague. Option 2. Lord Capulet. Option 3. Romeo. Or option 4. Friar Lawrence. This concludes the audio read aloud for the Romeo and Juliet Act 5 quiz.